Yo, it's time for another movie review, and today's movie is Saw 3, the third installment in the Saw franchise. We're slowly getting closer to the end of the franchise, which the newest one is Saw 10. I'm hoping to get these reviews done before Saw 11 comes out, but I mean, I think they're gonna start doing them yearly like they used to. So, I've actually got a speed run through these movie reviews, but yeah, I am getting back on a schedule with these reviews. I was doing them weekly, but then I started doing other videos, but I'll try and do at least one per week for this franchise until it's done with the whole movie review thing, and then I'll probably do a ranking, but that's for later. And that's basically it before we start the actual review, so let's start the review for Saw 3. For those of you who don't know which one this is, I was writing notes while I was watching it so that I remember if the movie review came out a couple weeks after or whatever I watched it so that I could stay, relatively knowing which one it is. And I just wrote in parentheses, one with the dead son and slow guy. Yeah, if you have watched this movie, you already know which one this is. But it is about a father who is in the tests that is lost his son in a car accident, and he has to basically either forgive or kill the people who did it. There are a whole bunch of people, whether they just saw it and didn't say anything, the person that actually did it, the judge who let him go with like a little slap on the wrist, basically. Whole bunch of people that caused it or had something to do with it. And the A plot actually is a nurse who John Kramer has come in and do a brain surgery on him. That's pretty that's the drama part of it, and then the actual trap side of it is with the guy, the dad, and that's basically just the B plot, honestly. A plot, really good. Amanda comes back. Johnny Smith is amazing as always. Tobin Bell, perfect as like he is in every single role he has. He is John Kramer by this point. He has always been John Kramer, though. Let's be real. And the nurse is struggling with depression, so she takes depression meds, and that's basically what John Kramer says she's there for, because she takes medicine for the depression, which is, I mean, I didn't want to start with the bad, but I guess I should, because I think there's more bad than good in this movie, which this is a good movie. You'll see in the rating, this isn't a bad movie. It's just, it has some weird parts, like all of these movies do. John Kramer's philosophy is really stupid, and he is a huge hypocrite whenever it comes to basically everything. I think every Saw fan can admit that, though. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with the bad. I didn't really want to start with the bad on this, but it'll be easier doing that. So, the protagonist, the dad that is in the actual trial, is the slowest character you will ever see. He decides to save them, but he does it after they're already dead every single time, except for the judge, but then he dies because he's stupid. This is the one with the stupidest characters, I think, honestly. Just the dad is really slow, and it's honestly gets annoying at some points. Like I already said, John blames her for taking antidepressants, which is stupid. This is kind of a mixed, but some will see it as bad, some will see it as good. I see it as just straight up mixed. Amanda is full-on crazy in this one. It's explained in the later ones with Hoffman, blackmailing her with some information. I don't want to spoil that because I am going to do the later movies for a full review later. But yeah, she's full-on crazy in this one. The whole thing about him having to do, forgive them and everything was stupid to me. This seems like he shouldn't want to save them at all, because honestly, they all suck. They're all horrible people for not putting this man away. Like, yeah, he was a young man that made a mistake, but still, he should have gone away. He killed a kid, even if it was an accident. So, I mean, that's kind of on the mix still, because all the characters are dumb and act like it was a fine thing to do and everything, but, that's besides the point. It's just the characters kind of suck. I wrote worst protagonist ever twice, so I mean, that's how bad this protagonist is. He's actually awful. I also wrote, stop trying to save them, you do more harm than good, because every single time he tries to save them, he ends up hurting them or himself, and it's just really really stupid to watch, honestly. It's just, he's the slowest protagonist you'll ever see, like I said, but he's just annoying. The A plot, like I said, was actually really well done, really good, but seeing this dad, like, struggle with not taking revenge and everything was stupid. It seemed like it should have just been a revenge movie, like, he should have just let them die without any second thoughts, but that's besides the point, I guess. That's all of the bads that I had. The good is, this is kind of a really good revenge movie. Like, it's actually a really compelling story about a dad who wants revenge, but struggles to actually take revenge because he doesn't want to become a monster, but he also wants them to pay. So that's why he's slow. I know that's why he's slow whenever it comes to saving them, but I wish he would just go full on revenge or full on forgiveness. But it's honestly just annoying how slow he is, even with that whole thing. But yeah, this is a really good revenge movie. The drama side of it all is really amazing. I like the A plot a lot more than the B plot, but I mean, that's just me, I guess. But it's honestly just the B plot is annoying with the who is doing the trials. It's actually pretty good. It has some pretty good traps and stuff like that. But yeah, I like how it goes deeper into John and Amanda's relationship. Now, Saw 10 does this way better because they're the actual sole protagonists of the story, but this is actually pretty good. This is the best one that we got out of the first series before Saw 10, I guess is the best way of saying it, because Amanda and John sadly disappear after this. I guess I should go ahead and talk about the traps since I already said they're pretty good. The pig gut trap I think is really gross, which is pretty cool. I actually really like it. I think it's a good trap. He has to burn his son's old possessions, like stuffed animals and stuff, which is pretty rough. I wouldn't do that to save the judge who let his murderer go, but that's just me, I guess. But yeah, there's that, and then there's also the last trap, which I think is called the rack, or something like that. It is... oof, it's rough. It is not something I would wish on even my worst enemy, which is weird because the dude is all the way through it like, oh, I don't want to be a murderer, but then he lets that thing kill him whenever that is by far the worst thing ever. And it's kind of sad because, I mean, by that point we realized that this dude actually did just make a mistake and everything, which, I mean, still, he should have gone to prison, and that judge is stupid for letting him go at all. But, I don't know, it's just a weird thing where it's like, oh, that really sucks, but also, he did something really bad. That's kind of how a lot of the victims in Saw is, though. Not, kind of, like 50%. It's a 50-50 on whether John chooses people who actually kind of need to change their life, and some that are just casualties, basically. But yeah, that's all the stuff in the beginning and middle of the movie that's good and bad, and the twist I think is really good, that it's Amanda's game and not actually either of their game, because plot A is basically Amanda being jealous of the nurse and everything, and then she kills her, and then it ends up being that the dad is actually the nurse's husband, and he shoots her in the throat. It is actually one of the most painful looking things in this series, I think, at least. Just being shot in the throat sounds like it would suck. And then John gets killed too, which really, really sucks. We get a return of Matthews. If you've seen my last Saw 2 review, you'll probably know I was a huge fan of Detective Matthews. We get to see how he ended. He was a fighter all the way to the end, is the best thing I can say, I guess. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this movie, with the good and the bad and everything. I'm not getting better at these movie reviews at all, am I? But yeah, this movie is actually pretty good. I know I trashed on the protagonist of Plot B a lot, but that's because he's slow and stupid and can't make up his mind on whether he wants to forgive or get revenge. But yeah, this movie is still, even with all of the bad and all of the good, taking all of that together, this is one of the better Saw movies, honestly. This is one of my favorites. I'd watch this one again. This is absolutely an 8 out of 10. I would give it a 9 out of 10 if the protagonist of Plot B was better and not as irritating, but he is really annoying, so it is an 8 out of 10. Tell me what you think about this movie. Tell me what you think about the Saw franchise in general. Just tell me what you think about all of these movies, I guess. But yeah, if you like this review, go watch the review for 1 and 2, and subscribe so you can see all of the other Saw reviews that I have coming. And after I'm done with the Saw franchise, I'm probably going to do either Critters or Omen. But yeah, tell me what you think about the review, about the movies, everything like that. Like, subscribe, and see ya.